Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Rock Bottom Airsoft. It's good to see you again. As always, if it's your first time here, it's good to see you. Today's video, we're going to have a look at another one of my replicas. We'll do it as a bit of a review. I'm not going to do an unboxing on it because, to be honest, the box this replica comes in is pretty plain. There's not really much to see. You'll understand a bit more when we get into it. Before we get into the review, just want to say thank you very much for watching my videos, and if you are enjoying my videos, as always, please subscribe and then you won't miss any of my uploads. I'll always look to upload a gameplay video midweek if I've managed to get to a game that weekend, and every weekend regardless we'll always upload a video that discusses various aspects of Airsoft, as you know already. Reviews of equipment and tech videos, that type of thing. So make sure you subscribe and then you don't miss anything. If you enjoy this video today, then don't forget to drop a like on it. And as always, if you have any questions for me or any comments on this video or any of my other videos, then do drop me a comment and I will always get back to you. Might not be straight away, might take me a few hours, but I will get back to you. Okay, so with that out of the way, let's get straight into what we are going to have a look at today. Now what we're looking at today is this particular replica. Now you'll have to excuse the cable tie on it. That come from when I chronoed it the last time I used it in gameplay. So this replica has been used by me in the field quite a number of occasions. What are we looking at here? Well, this is a replica of a SOCOM 16 or an M14 SOCOM 16, depending on what you find it as when you look on the internet. This particular model is a Cyma. Its model designation is the CM 032A, if you're looking for it online, if you're thinking of purchasing one yourself. Now I really like the lines of the classic M14. A lot of you may know already that I do also have a full length M14, but this particular one is my SOCOM 16. Now the reason I've chosen not to show you an unboxing on it, I still have the box for it as I do with all my replicas. The box that these come in is just a plain brown box with nothing on the outside, and inside it's just the usual polystyrene cutouts with the rifle and one magazine and an unjamming rod. The instructions that come with it is just one sheet of paper basically telling you not to shoot yourself in the face or shoot anything that you don't want to shoot, and all the usual things not to run around town with and things, you know. So there's not a great deal in the box for me to show you. So for that reason, we're just going to delve straight into the replica. Now, this replica, you can purchase one of these. When I've had a check online for prices these days, I paid about £160 for this particular one, British pounds. You can get them from anywhere between £139.99 right the way up to £200 I've seen them selling for. So there is like a vast variation on what suppliers are selling them for. I believe recently the M14 and SOCOM 16 have become slightly more popular, so that maybe explains why the prices have gone up. They may be getting a little bit harder to get hold of. There are suppliers that have them in stock. I will leave a link in the description to where you can get one of these if after watching this you fancy one yourself. So let's first of all just have a quick look round the rifle, and then you can have a good nosy and see the features that you Okay, so we've had a quick look at the rifle there, just a bit of a nosy on what it looks like. Let's go over what isn't included when you buy one of these. So when you buy the rifle, you'll get the rifle in the box. You won't get this mount. I've added this mount. This mount comes in very handy for adding an optic. Obviously you won't get the optic either. I've left that on there I'll be honest with you, because I didn't want to take it off. But the mount is very simple to fit. This particular mount is the ASG one. Cyma do one as well. I think a couple of other companies do them, and they fit pretty much universally. I've got another one on my full length M14, which is a different brand, and that fits absolutely fine. These mounts retail for around about 15 to 20 pounds. I will leave a link in the description to where you can get one if you want one. It just enables you to mount optics above the action, which I prefer for getting my cheek weld and aiming down the sights. So yeah, that's been added by me. The sight's been added by me. Now, as standard, you do have this 20mm rail on the SOCOM 16. That differentiates it again from the full length M14. You can put a red dot on there, no problem. That, I believe, is primarily what that's designed for. I don't use that myself. I prefer to have the small scope mounted above the action, which is why I bought that additional mount. So as again, I'll leave a link in the description where you can get that riser from if you decide that you want to mount your scope in a similar fashion to what I have. If you have a full length M14, you pretty much have to get one of those to mount a scope. So the SOCOM 16, as far as I understand, this is based on a replica of the Special Operations Command request for a shorter, more manoeuvrable version of the original M14. This replica is to scale. It's a nice looking replica. What I will say is that the majority of the working parts here are full steel. The action is full metal. The 20mm rail is full metal. The trigger guard, trigger, mag release, sling mounts, outer barrel, mock gas tube, front sight and rear sight for the open sights, they're all metal. The rear butt plate, which flips up to reveal your battery compartment, that is full metal as well. The stock itself is polymer with some checkering on the pistol grip to aid grip. The heat shield on the top here is polymer, but everything else is metal. So pretty much a full steel really, with a polymer stock. I believe the M14s are available with a wooden stock. This one only comes in polymer. So what are some of the features of this rifle? Well, obviously, as we mentioned there, you do get a 20mm mount here at the front as standard. You also get a nice set of open sights, very reminiscent of the Garand, which obviously the M14 was an evolution of. The open sights are adjustable for windage and elevation. You know, they're very nice open sights. You can quite easily use this as a battle rifle roll and just use the open sights if you so desire. You also get a bayonet lug on the front here, where you've got your mock gas adjuster. You get the mock charging handle as well. Now the mock charging handle on this is very satisfying. Makes a very satisfying sound, so it's really nice, to be honest, is that. But it doesn't do anything. The mock charging handle does nothing, but it does rotate just like the real thing. So I don't know if you can make that out on camera, but it's really nice. It also has a bolt hold open. By pressing the catch at the side here, you can get the bolt to lock back like the real thing, and then flick it forward just like the real thing. So again, that doesn't do anything. Your hop up is not located underneath that mock charging handle. The hop up is actually in the magazine well. I don't know if you can make it out here, but it's that little wheel there. If you can make it out on camera, that wheel is your hop adjustment. Now also with the rifle, you will get a magazine. The magazines are readily available. It's a 7.62mm style box magazine, just like the M14 or SOCOM 16 in this case would come with. They're windable high caps. You can either wind it with a key, which is provided, or you can wind it with the wheel on the bottom. Mid-cap magazines are readily available. I use mid-caps. The high cap magazine holds about 400 rounds. The mid-cap magazine, I believe, holds about 200, maybe 250 rounds. So the mid-caps for these are superb. They do hold a lot of rounds. But as I say, in the box you will get one high cap magazine, which is filled through the window at the top, as with most high cap magazines. So I will place this magazine in, and then we can have a look what it looks like with the mag in. So there you go, that's with the magazine fitted. Your mag release is this paddle here, so it's ambidextrous. You can release that paddle from either hand, lefty or righty. The trigger, just like the real thing, has a safety catch. So you push forward to fire, pull it back, the trigger is locked, but also, unless you've got very small fingers, you can't get your finger on the trigger to fire anyway. So just like the real thing, forward to fire. So that's a nice touch, and as I say, that's all metal. There is no plastic in there. The sling points, if we've already mentioned, front and back 2-point slings. You can put a 2-point or a 3-point sling on here, no problem. These sling points are steel. I use a sling with this rifle myself, and they are superb. They're strong, they won't let go, they're well mounted, more than capable of holding the weight of the rifle. I use a 2-point sling on this particular rifle. The inner barrel on this is 430 millimeters, which is quite a long inner barrel. So again, if you're looking at perhaps a DMR roll, or looking to upgrade a rifle to be a DMR, or you just want it to look like a DMR, the SOCOM 16, a little bit more maneuverable than the M14, so it's superb for that. But one thing I will say is this rifle is really heavy. It's 3.6 kilos, I believe, with an unloaded magazine and without the sight mount on that I've put on, and it is really heavy. If you're running around with this for the day, you may very well get tired arms. I certainly do. I find it very heavy, and just as we say, it is a little bit longer than your average AR pattern rifle. So be aware of that if you are going to buy one of these. You can mount a bipod, but the only bipod I found that will fit is a Dragon Claw bipod, which you can clamp round the lower gas tube, unless of course you're willing to do some modifications to the rifle. But as standard, you can get a Dragon Claw bipod that will fit on there. I've used this rifle many times. As I say, it's really decent range, it shoots well. The gearbox is a version 7 gearbox, not the easiest rifle to take down in the world if you're going to be looking to upgrade it. There are readily amounts of upgrades available for this rifle. So if you are looking to turn it into a DMR, there are plenty of upgrade parts available for the gearbox. With regard to whether it can fire full and semi, as standard, it's capable of firing semi and full auto, just like the real thing. That's your selector switch there. So you twist that to go from semi to full, and vice versa. So yes, it is capable of full and semi-auto. Now be careful when you buy one of these Cymas. Dependent where you buy it from, you might find that it's shooting a bit hot from the factory. Now if that's the case, it's not going to be field legal. This particular replica, I bought this from a UK supplier, and this one came shooting at bang on 350 feet per second on a 0.2 when I last gamed with it. I myself used 0.25s or 0.28s in this, and they shoot absolutely fine. As always is the ethos with my videos, as I'm reviewing this replica, I know I've used it in game, I know that it performs well, but so that you guys know that it does perform and it can be used in game, I'll make sure I get some gameplay footage out next time I go to a game. I'll take this with me and I will use it in game. Now with regard to the batteries, the battery is located in the rear. You have this this little door here that you can locate your battery in. So as you can see, the shoulder rest, which again is metal, opens. You've got a little door here that opens. You've got absolutely loads of room for batteries. Basically the whole stock is hollow. You can pretty much fit any battery you can think of in there. I use a 7.4 LiPo, and also more recently I use a 7.4 volt lithium ion battery in this. It does not come with Dean's connectors as standard, it does come with mini Tamiya's. I've modified this to Dean's as I do with all my replicas. I've left the fuse in place. This replica does not come with a MOSFET. There is no MOSFET fitted to these as standard. However, with 7.4 volt LiPos or lithium ion or even 9.6 volt NIMH batteries, you should be absolutely fine. You won't have any problems. I've used this many times with the 7.4 volt LiPos and had no issues whatsoever. I do plan on fitting a MOSFET to this replica, but I haven't done it yet. To be honest with you, I've just not got around to doing it yet. So the batteries are really easy to fit. As you can see, there is plenty of room for fitting a battery in there. So let's put a battery in and then you can see how this replica sounds. Okay, so as you can see, that's my 7.4 volt Titan lithium ion battery. Turn the safety off. There's no rounds in this replica. It is empty. I've checked, it's empty. There's no magazine in it. We've got our eye protection on just in case, and we'll dry fire. So as you can tell, sounds absolutely fine. It's not had any work done to it, this replica. It is standard. That's your full auto, and back to semi-auto, and back on safe. So the gearbox there was absolutely standard. Not a blazing fast full auto rate of fire, but to be fair, I only use this in semi anyway. Doesn't sound obnoxiously out of the ordinary, the gearbox. As I say, it's had quite a few rounds through it, and it's always done me proud. The range on these things is really quite good out of the box. I've had no issues with range on it. Again, I can show you more of that when I do a follow-up video with it in the field. I'll show you me using this in game. As I say, it's a superb replica if you're looking to get something that looks DMR but you don't want the full length, and maybe if you want something a little bit different. I don't see many SOCOM 16s in the field. I've seen a few M14s in the field, but not quite so many of these. So yeah, to summarize, it's a full metal replica. Apart from the stock, which is polymer, and the heat shield, which is polymer, everything else is metal. It's a version 7 gearbox, full metal internals. It's capable of full and semi-automatic fire. Absolutely loads of room in that stock to get any battery you could think of in there. You can get one of these mounts to mount your optics at the top, but if you don't want to, you've got the open sights, or you've got this small 20mm rail here. You've got full metal sling points, so a 2-point sling will go on here, no problem whatsoever. I personally think it's a good looking rifle, and for a price of between 140 to 200 pounds, it's not a bad price at all for something a little bit different, a little bit out of the ordinary, as it were. It's not your standard AR or AK that you'll see a lot of in the field. It's a little bit different. If you're looking to do a reenactment loadout, then obviously the M14 and SOCOM 16 are superb for that. These rifles, the drawbacks to them is they're particularly heavy. It is really heavy. I believe they do an EBR M14, which is supposed to be even heavier than this. I can't picture something more weight to it than this. This is really very heavy. The only drawback as well as that would be that they are quite difficult to work on. I found the M14 and SOCOM 16 quite difficult to take down. There's a lot of moving parts to remove to get at the gearbox, and the gearbox itself, yeah, it's not really a huge amount different if you're going to be working on it. It's a version 7, but obviously the basics of how it works, the operation of it are the same. You've just got to make sure that you get version 7 parts if you are going to look to upgrade it. But as for shooting accuracy and the hop-up system on it, the one in this one has been absolutely fine. I've had no need to change the hop rubber or the hop unit. It's been absolutely great. So I would certainly recommend one of these if you're after something that little bit different. I've always been a big fan of Cyma products, as anybody who knows me will tell you, because I think for the money you get a good deal, especially on a replica like this one. Yeah, it's a great rifle. I could certainly recommend it. If you're going for a particular look, this could very well be the replica for you. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that video. I hope it's given you a little bit of information about the SOCOM 16, maybe a replica that you hadn't previously considered. And if you did like this video, then make sure you drop a like on there. And if you've got any more questions about the SOCOM 16 or Airsoft in general, then drop me a comment and I'll get back to you. And if you are enjoying my series of videos, then do make sure to subscribe, and then you don't miss any of my future uploads. But apart from that, I'll look forward to speaking to you in the next one.